us all, telling the people she wraps around our heart. Peace in our life, remember the call. Oh, a tear for my brothers, think of them all. Home of the brave, we'll never fall. The strength of our nation.
Oh, those are the sweet tones of Frank Stallone.
It amazes me how talented the Stallone family is.
For fucking real.
I mean, you think first, most talented Frank.
Yes.
Second most talented Jackie, his mom.
Oh, absolutely.
Certified rumpologist. Did you know she was a rumpologist?
Rumpologist.
And this is, I'm not making this up. She came on Howard Stern one time because she was like obviously a raging narcissist and she was jealous of her kids, so she always wanted to be famous. So she was always on shit in the 80s.
Okay.
Rumpologist. You know how you can read your palms?
Oh, yeah.
Read your butts.
Oh, shit.
So
I
they
did
would
not
do
know that was a thing.
where you would like put your butt in some paint or something and then sit on something and then she would read your future
Wait,
through the rump.
that's how it's done? It's
Yeah.
not a grab
No,
my
no,
cakes?
no,
like,
no.
I thought Junkyard Dog was possibly the greatest rumpologist of all
No.
time.
But then, still Sly. I mean, yeah, he won an Oscar, but he's still not Frank.
I mean, we got to give him credit because I believe he writes a lot of his own movies.
Yeah, he wrote
directs.
fucking Rocky.
Exactly.
That's the whole story of Rocky was he wrote it, and they're like, okay, well, we want to buy your script, but we don't want you. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
I have to play Rocky. He gambled, and it paid off. He became a superstar because of that.
That's right. You got to bet on yourself sometimes.
I'm amazed. When's the last Stallone? I can't believe this is the first time we're doing Rocky. We're almost on not Rocky, but Rambo. We're almost at 200 episodes.
Almost there.
We just got to Rambo. We haven't talked about Stallone. We don't talk about Stallone that much.
Yeah.
Not arm wrestling. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not about arm wrestling, I don't give a shit. But yeah, Rambo. It's my first Rambo ever.
I couldn't believe that. You hate America. I remembered you hate America.
Yeah. I've seen more Duty movies than I've seen Rambo movies.
Yes. You see more Ginty movies, you piece of fucking shit.
So, yeah, pile the trash on me. I've never seen a Rambo.
This is one of those situations where the first movie, First Blood, obviously, because we're talking about First Blood Part 2. I was thinking about this. Are there any more series where it's because the First Blood was a very serious movie. It was about PTSD and about Vietnam vets.
Yeah.
And it took itself seriously. And then Rambo comes around, fuck it, it's full cartoon mode. He's a killing machine. He fucking wins fucking Vietnam War for us 10 years later.
Yeah.
Because remember, people who don't live in America, Americans, we never lose wars.
No.
And even when we lose, we win. Because we make a movie where we win.
All we have to... That's right. All we have to do is pull up our bootstraps. We just need one guy to pull up his bootstraps,
That's all we needed.
enough.
We need one guy to get out of the way, bureaucrats. Let this one guy
That's it.
win the war.
That's it. That's all we need.
But I was thinking, like, has there ever been another movie series that did that much of a 180 where it was like the first movie was serious, and then the next one was just totally off the wall? The only one I could think about, I was thinking, you ever see that Sicario movie?
No.
It's about the Mexican drug cartels and shit. I remember the first one being like a serious movie, and then the second movie was Benicio del Toro's character, who was the coolest character in the first movie. He just went Rambo. Like, it was just him, like, fucking people up. Like, He was totally ridiculous.
Nice.
And I remember he did this move. I wish we had Jack in here to get his point of view on this. Because, everyone's trying to figure out a new way to use a gun.
Yeah.
Everyone's bored with the John Woo sideways.
Yeah.
So he's holding the gun in his right hand like he would, and he's pulling the trigger with his index finger of his left hand. I was like, what the fuck is that? I know he's, like, trying to come up with something new, but it looked ridiculous.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
That's a good one, yeah.
Because the first one was serious and the second one it was like, nah, this isn't working. Toby, let's get some hoops in here. So that's the one I can think of. Yeah. I feel like there's definitely some other ones out there. Yeah. So we'll get around to it. But you know what, Murray? Just a couple days ago was our birthday. And we got to thank some people out there for wishing us happy birthdays and writing us reviews. So
I want to thank our Twitter people and our listeners. That was very kind of you. It was nice.
Yeah, and everybody who participated and told us about the gang they would join, and We even had someone bring up, I believe it was Abra, brought up the fact that my gang was pretty much Dean Venture's gang from the Venture Brothers. So
yeah, so you're really unoriginal.
Yeah, I guess I am. Unlike the Passive Aggressives, the most original fucking gang ever.
Yeah, it is. What name me? Where was that? What movie was that from?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. But let's move on, Murray. We got to start something I want to call Weasel Watch. Because we were talking about David Patrick Kelly.
Who hates us now?
Number one in our hearts, we do...
Why do you hate us, David? I know you're listening. I gave you love this week, and you gave me the cold shoulder. And it was... Talking about passive aggression. This guy would have been fucking my number 2 in the fucking passive aggressors. Because I gave him a shout-out.
Yeah.
I said, who's better at playing a weasel than David Patrick Kelly? And I tagged him. I said, I want him to know this, that I appreciate his weaseliness.
And it was definitely the official David Patrick Kelly.
Yes.
Because no one could mimic that on Twitter.
Well, who would?
Who would?
I assumed it was just because there was a lot of candid pictures of him on there. I don't know why. You'd have to be a psycho stalker fan to be having all these like candid pictures of him in his life.
Some people.
I was sad that he only had like 3,000 followers. That was pretty sad.
Yeah.
So I hope it's not him. Either way, a bunch of people like commented on it because everyone loves this creep, David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah.
And a fellow Detroiter, by the way, I'm showing love to this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He passively aggressively liked everything but my tweet. You motherfucker. I'm glad that fucking Swan almost killed you.
I don't get it because we were just.
And I'm glad that Matrix did kill you.
He was literally playing a weasel character, and we were trying to give him credit.
Right. I didn't say he was a weasel. I made sure not to say that because I didn't want any misunderstanding.
Right. He was, of course, Jerry Horn in the Twin Peaks series. Total fucking weasel in the first 2 seasons of that. He was great. Commando, great weasel on that. And then fucking 3rd movie in a row, he was great in fucking Warriors. But I want to bring some more weasels to the table here because I was watching Django Unchained, and one Walter Goggins is in that movie. Yeah. Another great fucking weasel.
Yeah, you got it. There's a certain look to a weasel.
There is. He's just got that demeanor. He's got that face, and of course he was in Justified.
Of course, the greatest of all time
is
Billy Drago, but he's no longer with us.
Oh yeah, Billy Drags is the
ultimate creep.
And then Murray, I'm only bringing this up because we got a weasel in today's movie.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and this is a stand-in for like all the bureaucrats in Washington and everything. He's a super bureaucrat. He's the guy who works for BlackRock or Raytheon or one of those fucking big budget, takes all the taxpayer money companies. Got Murdoch. Total fucking weasel.
Piece of shit.
He's like Paul Jones level weasel.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, so is there a cake update for us? Did everything go over well?
No,
this year?
we didn't. I haven't. Tomorrow was cake day. As we're recording this is the day after our birthday. And I'm having some family over tomorrow, Sunday. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have that cake. So my mom picked the cake up today. We thought we had the cake, perfect cake, 2 years ago, and we saw what happened with that.
She didn't.
If you want to know more about the cake, you got to check out the hot as shit Kojak Tippy Tap.
Yeah, that whole story came out. Of course, you'll hear all about the greatest, like epic level. Disney, I hear, is picking up the Saganaki cock block.
Yeah. Disney wants my story.
Yeah, Disney wants Murray's story. It's going to be animated, of course.
Yeah, they're going to have Chris Pratt play me.
Yeah, well, he's going to do your voiceover. I believe it was animated. Or are they going to do live action now?
You're right. Pixar's doing it. It's going to be animated. Because the Nagasaki actually talks.
Yes.
Or Saganaki, actually. I keep mixing that up. I keep talking about the Japanese city we blew up in World War II. Because that was almost my personal...
Yeah.
Nagasaki. When people talk about, like, remember Hiroshima, I go, motherfucker, remember Saganaki.
Well, that's why you always wear the bracelet.
Right. Well, no, I wear the ribbon.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. The ribbon. Yeah.
Griff, people give a shit. They say, you guys, you're living in the past. You don't watch new action movies. Why not? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a story why I don't watch them. Because I watched a new action movie recently.
Let's hear about it.
You ever heard of this movie called Nobody, Griff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this before, and you're like, yeah, it kind of worked.
No, I haven't watched it until a few days ago.
Okay. Because this is Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk. Love Bob Odenkirk.
I love Bob.
Soul.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Dude is
Mr.
great.
Show.
Yeah, exactly. So good.
Great. And I have no problem with him in this movie, but I have a problem with this movie.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Let's hear it.
Okay. My problem with modern movies is and part of it's my fault because I went into it with different expectations because I knew nothing about this movie. All I knew was Bob Odenkirk. I saw a picture of him all beat up.
Yep.
And so this is what I thought the movie was going to be, and I think it would have been so much better if it was this way. I thought it was going to be a take on Death Wish. I thought it was going to be a story of a guy who's a pussy, who shies away from violence, and then something traumatic happens to him, and then he overcomes his fear of violence and kicks ass and gets revenge.
Kind of like a falling down. Or is it falling up? That one story of the guy in the suit and tie goes around and...
Well, that's more... No, that guy's more like it's a white douchebag asshole.
He was a white douchebag asshole, you're right.
No, Odenkirk is a decent guy in this movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't hate the movie. I don't want everyone to act like, oh, you hate it, but I did not like it either. I didn't finish it. So I can't really say, because I watched about an hour and I was like, I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, skip ahead like 5 minutes if you don't want me to ruin the movie. Oh, I can't ruin the whole movie because I haven't seen it all.
Yeah,
I probably won't finish it. But from what I saw was this is what happens is, all right, he's just a regular guy like I thought.
Sure.
Working some Michael Ironside's in it.
Fucking Ironside?
He plays his father-in-law.
How good is Ironside looking these days?
Oh, he looks awful. I felt bad. No, he's like fat as fuck now.
Oh.
And he's got the Fu Manchu mustache.
Oh, I like that.
And he's got, he's been balding forever,
Yeah.
but he has no hair.
He used to have the little Phil Collins,
He
like
doesn't
just
have
tuft
that
of hair.
anymore.
Yeah, okay.
He's got the horseshoe now.
Yeah, okay.
But he's playing, it works for the character he's playing. 'Cause he's
I
a
believe
guy
it
that
does.
works like, he wants like this blue collar type job type thing.
Sure.
I don't know what they do. A lot of Sparks. It's a Sparks factory.
Sparked, okay.
So this is why it bugged me. This is why all like new action movie, because John Wick has that same vibe, even though I've never seen a John Wick movie.
It's too stylized.
Too stylized, Griff. Thank you. That's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, they do the thing, the gimmick where they show him repeating the same day over and over, like he fucking checks, punches in the clock, goes to work, he's doing some work, and he goes home, doesn't fuck his wife. Goes, and then they just repeat. No, it's literally, that was it.
Okay.
And they do that, they show like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. And then
we like that.
Yeah.
We like when you tell us what day of the week
yes,
it is.
we
So
like that.
That was
I
the
can say
point.
it's not all garbage.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff to this.
Right.
It was a good movie hidden in this. You just got rid of all the stylized bullshit.
That's what sucks. It's like everything is just like, we can't just let things breathe. It's like wrestling today. You can't just DDT somebody. You have to have your wife light you on fire and then be DDT through a table.
So, one night, there's somebody breaks in the house. A couple, a man and a woman break in the house. And pull a gun on them, but they're nervous. You can tell. And they're like, yeah, here's your fucking money. And he's like, I don't have any money. I use a debit card,
Sure.
Then but he's like, they've been playing up what a pussy he is. Like, he was in the army, but he was like fucking file clerk or some shit. Like, he never saw combat, you know. So they're really hammering home this guy's a pussy. He's never fucking done shit. And I'm like, I'm digging it. I'm like, okay, that's most people's fucking life. Most people don't fucking experience violence in their life,
Right, exactly.
So, and what would you do? So what happens is his son jumps into action and grabs one of them and is like struggling with him. Meanwhile, the other one, the woman has a gun on her son. She like forgets about him. So he grabs a golf club. And he's ready. He's like, all right, this is where he's going to fucking, get his balls. And
Tell me he covers the club head with his hand, and
No, he doesn't
instead of
do that.
swinging it, he just kind of...
he does nothing. He pussies out.
Oh.
And his son's disgusted with him because he's like, Dad, what the fuck? We had these guys. And he's like, we should. I'm worried about your mom and your sister. I don't want, fine. Then something happens where he one day decide it's revealed. I might be wrong because, like I said, I haven't seen the last half hour of this movie, and the reviews I'm hearing is
from what I'm hearing, it's 90 minutes though.
I was going to bring that up. I'll
Okay,
bring that up later.
sorry.
What happened is because the reviews I read, people are like acting like it's the movie I thought it was going to be. It's like, no, it's not. Because what happens is he just goes, he says, fuck it, I'm a badass now, and then it's slowly revealed he was in Spartan Squad basically.
What?
Like his wife doesn't know about this. And he just goes out, Bob Odenkirk, almost 60 years old, No muscle tone at all. Just like, I'm a badass now. And he just starts fucking people up.
Fucking Christ. Like, it's not hard. Do a little research, everybody. You could watch a Dudikoff, but pay attention to Steve James. Like, you could do this shit right and still have it work today.
But here's the thing. This is such like a suburban person's fantasy.
Yes, 100%.
That you can choose to not be afraid. You cannot choose to be a badass.
Yes.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You have to train. You have to. Like, I can't just like I can't go like, yeah, I'm 48 years old now. I could beat up a fucking like 20-year-old fit guy. No, he would beat my ass. I'm fucking old now.
Right. You might get a lick or two in, but you're get
And I will say he does get hit. It's not like he's not Jackie Channing it, where he's just beating everybody.
Sure.
Nobody's hitting him, but he's like kind of selling it, but not really. Like the shit that happened to him, he'd be like in the hospital, but he kind of just walks away from it. I didn't like, and can we retire this? Russian mobsters, can we retire them villains? They're like, I know it's the safe villain because they're white guys, so we use them for everything now.
Yeah.
So when I was watching, I was like, how many fucking times have I seen this story? Like the person who lives the suburban life but is secretly a badass. That fucking Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt movie was the premise. Was that
Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was I know there was one Gina Davis, Samuel Jackson movie was the same thing, where she was like a housewife, but she was really like a spy. Like she had to hear like a word that would snap her into a spy. Like,
oh, weird. Okay, yeah.
And so like it's been done before. I mean I kind of get Bob Odenkirk. He's probably like, they offered it, and he's like, hey, when's the chance? When am I ever going to get a chance to be kick-ass? So I can see why he took it. But it was just, I don't know. It was like, and like I said, it was too stylized. It was too slick.
You could do this with Bob Odenkirk. Like you said, you could do the Bronson movie. Well,
right. Death Wish.
Death Wish.
You
could do something like that.
He would be great in a Death Wish remake.
Right. I don't get why we're handing all these fucking action movies off to grandpas now. Liam Neeson's like our action star. We got
because young people are pussies now. That's why.
But you could get a fucking get that Logan Paul guy. He's doing everything else. Get him in there. He's a cocky piece of shit. He could be the new Boz.
All I got to say is I was disappointed, and I probably won't finish the movie.
Yeah.
And please stop with the stylized everything.
Yeah.
Stop with the banter, the quips. I don't need it. I fucking blame Quentin Tarantino for this because he started it. And none of the fucking... Have you ever seen a Tarantino ripoff that's any good? But they keep making them, but they're never any good.
I didn't really think... I haven't watched a whole lot of modern movies, but I never really realized that Tarantino's just getting ripped off here.
He was a huge... I remember when Reservoir Dogs came out.
Okay.
And... Well, it was funny. He got big after Pulp Fiction. Everyone acts like they saw Reservoir Dogs. You saw it on fucking video after you saw fucking Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theaters. And the reason I saw it in the theaters was I heard a cop was getting tortured. And I said, I got to see that because I fucking hate cops.
Murray's been ACAB since day one.
Yeah, I have. And I was getting harassed left and right. Like we've gone through it. I live in a ghetto town surrounded by rich communities, and so you got to go through these rich communities to get anywhere. And they were harassing the fuck out of me and my friends. So, and this is funny because this was like, I don't know, maybe outside of Detroit it was shown at regular multiplexes, but this was like shown at the Art House Theater. This was shown at the Maple. So you had to actually show your fucking ID to get in. Because it was, you had to be 18 to see this Reservoir Dogs. You know why? Fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre is way more fucking violent than this.
The air scene.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So, and we were laughing it up. We loved that scene. People thought we were crazy because this is the art crowd, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then Pulp Fiction came out, and then there was just a multitude of this shitty, like Guy Ritchie, guy garbage. I say that guy sucks. I don't like he's a total Tarantino ripoff. And there was just a series of just like criminals that quip, because that's the only thing they took away from Tarantino. That it's just criminals talking like we talk, like regular everyday people talk. That's
right.
That's the only thing people took away from Tarantino. And so we got a series of those movies. None of them are good. Things to Do in Denver While You're Dead. Never saw it. Never will.
Wow, that's a movie.
Smoking
title.
Aces. That kind of garbage.
I think I saw that one. Not very good. I think I did see that one.
Because it's all stylized.
Yeah.
But by the way, Tarantino's not stylized. It's fucking gritty violence.
Reservoir
Dog was fucking gritty violence.
Oh yeah, like I said, I just watched Django Unchained and fucking.
There were no 5 quick cuts to the ear getting cut off. It was just one slice.
Yeah, like the end scene when there's just blood. I love when is it Jamie Foxx?
That's Jamie Foxx.
The first guy he kills in the end scene when he takes out his gun and shoots him, and the blood splatters on his face, and he quickly. I was like, that right there is one of my favorite things ever, because you never see that where the actual blood splatter gets on somebody. Oh. So I really enjoyed that. But Murray, that was a really long diatribe.
Well, yeah. Well, let me finish it by saying the one thing that I appreciated about Nobody.
Let's hear it.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
I loved that. I didn't finish the movie, but I would have finished the movie if I was interested in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked that. Speaking of 90 minutes, Rambo First Blood Part 2, 96 minutes. I thought, for some reason, I remember this being 2 hours. No, it just he fucking comes, gets the mission, does it, goes home.
They do such a perfect job of putting this in order. There's lots of like low tension scenes. They build it up great.
Do you want low tension scenes?
They got to cool down before he blows up a village. You know, It's like they cool you down a little bit, then they bring you back up. So I feel like it's good. There's not a hat on a hat, if you will.
There's no hats.
There's headbands.
Headband on headband.
Actually, that one guy had a hat.
What guy?
That one commie general.
Oh, well, he's barely a character.
He was barely a character.
Doing my research, IMDb trivia, who knows if this is real or not, they said that our boy Dolph was supposed to be, I'm guessing he was supposed to be the thug, not the general.
Yeah.
But then I guess they had already cast him as Drago, and they're like, we can't have him.
That would have been amazing if they had like this meta rivalry throughout 3 movies where they were playing different characters and everything. I think that would have been cool. But yeah,
and they didn't do it.
Okay. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna go to the trailer because this intro is really fucking long and had nothing to do with Rambo for the most part.
That's right.
So here it goes, people. In order to survive this trailer, you got to become this trailer for Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Joined Army 6 June 69. Accepted Special Forces. Helicopter and language qualified. Expert in light weapons and guerrilla warfare. Sylvester Stallone is back as Rambo. Rambo's the best combat vet I've ever seen. His mission, to locate American POWs in Vietnam.
Think you'll find someone? POWs? Doubtful. Come on, move in!
His orders, not to engage the enemy.
He's got 36 hours to complete the mission and reach the extraction point. We're going down!
You're not going anywhere.
I'm telling you to abort. Double-crossed and left behind enemy lines.
You're the one who's making the mistake.
Yeah, what mistake? Rambo. And now, he's getting out any way he can. Rambo. What most people call hell, he calls home. No man, no law, no war can stop him. Sylvester Stallone is back as Rambo. First Blood, Part 2.
Welcome back to the Rock Quarry, everybody, because we're not in Nam yet. We're in the Rock Quarry.
Yeah, he's suffering from hard labor. Because in the last movie he got arrested because he flipped out and I think he killed somebody. I haven't seen First Blood in so fucking long. I barely remember it. Did you know that this movie was originally the first run through the draft was written by James Cameron?
James Cameron of Batman fame, Avatar.
Batman.
Didn't he do a Batman?
No.
Oh.
Terminator.
Oh, okay. Who am I thinking of
I
then?
don't know who the fuck you're thinking of. Tim Burton?
No, that can't be it. Anyways.
So, and then Stallone took over and punched the script up. So originally...
Maybe punched it down.
Well, maybe, yeah,
worked out
probably.
perfectly.
Yeah. So originally, Rambo was supposed to start the movie in a psychiatric hospital, which would make sense because he had severe PTSD.
Oh.
But, of course... we can't have a hero be any weaknesses. So
right.
his PTSD is out the fucking door. He occasionally has some flashbacks to it in this movie.
I would say he's still definitely a shell of a man.
Well, yeah, but he's still a badass. Like it doesn't get in the way. Is what I'm trying to say.
He's just going to the path of least resistance for him, which is murdering people. Yeah. So he's still broken. It's just we're getting to see him excel at what he does best.
So, well, he is war. So instead of being a psychiatric hospital, he's just sentenced to hard labor. So that's breaking rocks. We know that.
And that's we know all about Stallone's training, nature. So this is perfect for that hard body that Stallone's rocking here. So this works.
We get a mention of that later on. We'll point out about his love for nature. But Colonel Troutman, the country needs him.
Yeah.
Colonel Troutman, the guy that tried to talk him down, it did talk him down in the last movie. And he has a soft spot for little Johnny Rambo. He's like, John, your country needs you. And then he's like, full pardon.
You
get a blowjob from Miss America.
We got a parade lined up for you. I know that's what you're ailing about. You feel like your country turned its back on you, but don't worry.
Ticker tape parade.
We got everybody waiting for you. They all support the troops. They wear truck nuts on their trucks.
See this yellow ribbon?
Yeah.
This color don't run.
That's right.
And he's just buttering him up. He's like, look, we need you for a recon mission. Strictly recon. No killing, John. We just want to send you in. We think there's a POW camp, the one you escaped from.
Yeah.
And you know that territory better than anybody.
Anybody. You got it all memorized in that beautiful brain of yours. You're like the Rain Man. You're dumb, but also brilliant. Rainbow Man.
Yeah. And as soon as he hears about that ticker tape parade, he's like, I'll do it. First, sir, do we win this time?
That's up to you. Glasses on, walk away.
Like I just mentioned earlier, non-Americans, we win even when we lose. We're like, we chose to lose Vietnam. Yes. Just so Rambo would win it 10 years later.
That's right.
So immediately, we don't have time to fuck around watching Pac. He's on the chopper, headed to Thailand, where we have our base set up, which is neighboring to Vietnam.
Well, the only thing he had was a second shirt and another headband. So,
he's in prison. I don't blame him.
Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't have much to pack. We don't need to worry about that.
So the first thing he's greeted by, this must be a code name, Erickson. This is John fucking Steele, who fucking meets up with him.
Dude, I was so happy to see fucking Martin Cove. I was hoping there's going to be more in it, but his little yellow pin with the frowny face on it, I was like, Martin Cove, beautiful. Just wanted a sweater scene with him, a shirtless sweater scene, but whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
It would have been nice. Think of that. Stallone with that red sweater he's wearing, taken off, draped over his back, Martin Cove.
I bet you, knowing Marty like I do, he probably floated that idea. Stallone's like, you're not stealing the movie.
Well, he's got a bigger body than him. Like,
Martin, I know you.
Yeah.
I know your body.
Yeah.
You're not, no.
Yeah, he doesn't
put his shirt on. And then so Erickson, his character Erickson, we know it's John Steele, but his character is Erickson. And he's like, the chosen one! He's like, I've heard so much about you.
Yeah.
Because he is just, John Rambo is the most decorated Vietnam vet of all time.
Also, I mean, come on, let's side by side him with Luther from the Warriors, because these two have rock fucking star hair.
And headbands.
Hoo, 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 hoo.
Apparently, if you have rock star hair, you must wear a headband.
Well, yeah, you have to. It's just that's how you have to do it. It's like the Ultimate Warrior wore the armbands around his arm to make his fucking biceps look bigger. You just have to do it. It just helps.
It's called flair.
It's flair. Thank you.
Now we meet our real villain. You think the Russians were bad?
The worst are the enemies within.
Government.
Yeah.
That's the worst enemy, Griff. We learned that. Ronald Reagan taught me that.
Yeah.
He said, hey, what's the worst thing you can hear? I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
That's right.
Murdoch's a bitch. He's straight up Lutheran in it. And he's just like, hey, man, I saw some shit, too. I was in fucking Nam. I was in the Wang Chung offensive in the Long Duck Dong Valley, and I saw some shit. I lost a lot of friends.
Yeah, he tries to bro up with him.
Right.
I was right in the fucking pits with you. I was in the rice paddies.
It's like I was in the Lone Ranger 2nd Battalion, and then you see Rambo's eyebrows quirks up a little, but he no sells it.
I like this era of Stallone because he communicates a lot through eyes.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoy.
And if you can read eyes, you're getting so much more from this
Oh,
movie.
my God. I can't imagine. Like, you would think the script is only about, we talked about Superfly being 45 pages. I think this script is only 30 pages because it's mostly just an eye
Yeah,
language.
but instead of fucking people just walking, it's Rambo killing people. So I'm
Right.
all right with it.
All right.
So we get the scene. We got to have the scene where we read off our hero's credentials.
Absolutely.
John Rambo, he's half Native American, he's half German.
Which is a hell of a combination. If you want an ultimate warrior, that's the combination you want. Those are the genes.
Well, if you want to know a man who knows a bow and arrow, you got to have some Native American blood in you.
That's right.
59 confirmed kills in Nam. He kills 74 people in this movie, for fuck's sake. He kills more people in the 2 days he's in Nam, back in Nam, than the entire fucking career.
On a recon mission.
We learn, of course, he was a founding member of Spartan Squad.
Absolutely. He's the founding member of the Expendables, too.
Murdoch is like, only one of 3 men could do this mission, John. Of course, the other 2, John Matrix and Matt Hunter.
Matt Hunter, of
And
course.
we know John Matrix was busy with some personal shit at the time, and
Yes.
Matt Hunter was saving America
Right.
from communists.
Right. Cuba was invading in Florida. I like to bring up at this moment that, Murdoch, after he's read out all those stats, he's getting sweaty. So he's like, my man, get me something cold. And they have a vending machine that he opens up. And the only reason I bring this up because why is Stallone so worried about this vending machine? What does it symbolize to him? Because he's looking at it like these motherfuckers.
What I didn't get, this is what he was pissed off about. It's obvious. It says Coca-Cola everywhere. Inside, RC Cola.
It was RC Cola.
That's what offended him.
Was
Because he
it-
wanted an ice cold Coke. He's been in jail for how many years?
Right. Okay. So you think it was just about him wanting a Coke? He wasn't thinking like this is a Trojan horse situation, like Coca-Cola vending machine with RC Cola in it. Like, is this Murdoch guy trying to lie to me? I don't know. I thought there was a lot.
He already
happening here.
knows he's lying about his past because he's like, he sized them up.
He sized them up.
He read the eyes. And
He
the
read
eyes
those eyes.
told some lies.
And if you read Murdoch's eyes, they're darting all over the place. He's either got a drug habit or he's lying.
or both.
Or both.
He's Thailand. The best heroin is in Thailand. We all know that.
That's right. And Su Manchu operates out of Thailand.
She makes an appearance later on.
She does.
So they go over the mission. Like, look, man, don't touch mission. You are only to take pictures, man. We know you could take out this whole fucking squad.
Right.
But you are, because he's like Delta Force. Of course, our man will remember his character. It was something Matt something. Because
It was
Chuck
Matt-
always plays character named Matt.
Matt Stryker.
Matt Stryker. They're going to do the extraction. Your job is to only do the recon because you know this Delta better than anybody.
All they needed to do, and what we're going to learn about this is that basically the government wants, because it's several years after Nam, so they're
10
just,
years after now.
10 years after Nam, they're just trying to make sure there isn't more POWs because there's something like 20,000.
Right. They actually do a good job of kind of explaining why. Because I always was like, when they did these kind of movies, because missing in action was the same thing.
Sure.
Why the fuck would they keep these guys alive? Why wouldn't they just kill them or release them? And
Yeah.
they do it. I will get in later, but they do a good job explaining why they kept these guys alive. But yeah, so Murdoch's like, look, buddy, the old Nam is dead. And then Rambos looks at him, I'm alive, so it's alive. And then we get into this room, Star Trek computers everywhere. Beep, 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 beep.
Trout is trying to tell him, like, look, I know how you used to have to fight things, but you've been in the quarry for a while now. We do things with computers now. The internet, maybe you've heard of
A
it.
series of tubes.
Huh? Hello? Technology knocking. Put your brain on, Rambo. This is what's going to guide you. I know you're thinking it's crazy because
They do the fucking Escape from New York scene where there's just a fucking table of the most high-tech weaponry, and then Rambo just drops the mind is the best weapon. And then Murdoch doesn't know what to say, so he's just like, well, let me show you some more. And like he's just blah, 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 verbal diarrhea, fucking Rambo's shutting him out.
Right, because he doesn't need to hear all this. He already knows his mission. He's memorized everything about the encampment he's going to. He saw one picture of it, photo memory, Rain Man style.
He was there, so he knows.
Right, and he's been there, so, he's been there. There's zero chance.
He's already planned out the entire mission.
Everything.
Nothing can go wrong.
Exactly. He's like, I don't need this camera. I'll just memorize the whole thing, come back, and draw it all out.
Right, I'll draw the picture. And Murdoch's being all butthurt because he can tell he's not listening.
Right.
So he goes over to Troutman. He's like, what the fuck's up with this guy? And then Troutman just dropped. This movie's full of this classic tough guy lines.
Yeah.
And we got them all. And he's just like, if I can find where I'm at right now. Well, you call hell. He calls home.
All
and
right.
then drops the mic. He pulled the mic out of nowhere and just dropped it.
That's the perfect line to lead into a gear up montage, though, because
Yes.
it's a badass scene when you're.
I've never been more on the edge of my seat watching a guy tie his shoes.
Yes, bootstraps. Hello, America, right there.
That's all he does. He puts knives and sheaths and ties his shoes. I loved what he did. There's a scene where he's literally loading a camera. He's just like that. He made that badass. He's just like
Okay.
Test the Polaroids, like flat. He's like flip.
Where did he learn to handle a camera like that?
He's flapping the Polaroid camera because that makes it like develop faster. We all know that. You just flap it around the air.
You see, as much as we love this scene here, if they remade Stallone's dead, let's say, in this parallel universe, and they remade Rambo 2, there would be a 30-minute addition to the front of the movie. Rambo in his childhood, and he wanted to be a photographer, but instead he got pulled out and had to go
drafted,
to now. But he wanted to be a photographer.
Right, like a photojournalist. Or
Yeah, exactly.
like that. Yeah,
he had a little press hat with the fucking press tab on
totally
it.
do that.
Yep.
So now they're going off to the airplane that's going to drop them off.
Got the helicopter all warmed up and everything. You're hearing about the criteria. You got 36 hours, Rambo. That's it.
That's your extraction point. And Rambo pulls Troutman aside. He's like, "Yeah, that guy, he was lying. There was no Lone Ranger 2nd Battalion. There was only the 3rd Battalion."
Yeah, I think it was 2nd Battalion. It was over in Butter Creek Bay. It wasn't in Chesapeake Bay, like he said.
You are the only person I trust. And then he gets on the plane and they take off.
Murdoch walks up to Troutman and he's just like, "Yeah, sick son of a bitch, gonna have a fun time over there." And then he starts telling Murdoch starts like shitting on Troutman. He's like, because Troutman is like, "Do you think he's gonna find any POWs out there?" Because Troutman, he's innocent in this.
Right.
He really thought he was gonna help POWs. That's what he's all about, supporting the troops. Right. He's got the yellow ribbon. But Murdoch's just like, "I'm just here to clean up your fucking mess." And he fucking hawks a loogie all over the place. He's got he hawks a loogie, and then he's got a chew loogie that he spits out separately, and that is
a chloogie.
A chloogie. That is like weasel level.
That's pretty impressive, though. If you keep the separate, your snot loogie and your chaw loogie.
That's why you know this man is like top notch Paul Jones level weasel.
So now Troutman's like, maybe Rambo's right about this piece of shit. I actually believed his story about the Long Duck Dong Valley, and it's like...
Yeah, we even follow Troutman inside, and he picks up one of the photographs of the landscape, and I don't know what we're supposed to read from this, but he, like, looks at it, pulls it down so that, we can see his face, and then he's just got, like, this...
Well, Murdoch, his belief, because he didn't want to do this job at all. He doesn't want to be here. So he's like, "Look, I'm almost positive this camp is empty." He doesn't believe there's any POWs, but the fucking, the brass is making me do this. I have to deal with this Rambo character.
Right.
So we're gonna humor them, let Rambo do his little thing, and then we're gonna pick him up.
Exactly. This is a mission. They're fishing for nothing, let's say.
Right. Yeah, it's been 10 years. There's no way these guys could be alive. So now Rambo, he's getting ready to jump, and then he gets caught up.
Yeah. Well, he's not used to wearing all this equipment, It's
weighing him down.
It's weighing him down. So as soon as he jumps
I also
out,
want to point out when they were doing the gear up scene, clearly shows only 4 explosive arrows. He's like 50 in this movie.
Yeah. They just didn't want to have 3 minutes of him just loading up. If he would have just like put it on a stack of other explosive arrows,
because he has this tiny little packet for his arrows. He has 5,000 arrows in this movie, and they all come in like 5 pieces. He has to like literally put them together.
Right. We watch him put them together at multiple points in the movie, or he's just making them as he goes.
Out of metal?
Out of metal. He's got really hard hands from working in the rock quarry.
So he gets caught up, and like fucking Cove is like, he's gonna get shredded. I don't know what to fucking do. And then Rambo. Everyone's panicking. These like badass mercenaries. So Rambo just nonchalantly pulls out his Rambo knife.
Yep.
That's what we call it, the Rambo knife. I remember they had those for. I wanted a Rambo knife so bad when I was a kid.
Everybody did. I wanted one
because they had the fucking compass on the handle. Yep. You could unscrew, and then you could put like matches inside the handle.
Yep. I had toy knives like that.
Yeah, I think I did too. Because I can't remember. There's no way my mom would got me a Rambo knife. But I think I did have a toy Rambo knife.
How heavy do you think his knife is?
It doesn't matter. He's fucking Rambo.
Well, I know, but
I'm saying at least 20 pounds.
Yeah, that's why we need Jack here. Just to tell us how heavy this knife is.
So, well, maybe next week he can tell us.
Yeah.
So he's nonchalantly just cutting off all his equipment, his fucking rations, his fucking Clark bars, everything. And it's like, why don't you just cut the thing that's holding you to the fucking plane, Rambo?
I have no idea what was happening here, but it's just like he's got to show off. It's like, this mission's going to be hard. I need to make it even harder so everyone really knows how badass I am.
So all he's got is his fucking little packet of bow and arrows.
And they have to have somebody on the plane to say, he's cutting off all the equipment that we gave him, the camera and all
that high-tech shit.
Yeah, exactly. So we needed that explanation.
He did have his pencil on him, so he could still draw.
Well, yeah, he's going to draw the whole landscape, right. Of course. He's going to have a Titanic
He studied under
scene.
Bob Ross, so he can do some great landscaping.
Oh, my God. The landscapings he can do?
So he cuts himself loose.
I bet he draws up landscapes and Frank Stallone writes songs about them.
Probably.
That's just, like, I got to look for that album. That's my favorite.
Cuts himself loose, has no parachute, just grabs a tree and just shimmies his way down.
Wait, that's how he landed?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How did I not notice that?
So, I don't know. Pay attention.
I really got to pay more attention. I got to,
Hits the ground. It's like fucking David Lee Roth calling. He hits the ground running because he just immediately hits the ground, starts running.
He did have a cool like star belt buckle too.
Yeah, we forgot to point out he's meeting a local who's going to guide him, even though he.
I like what you did there, local. It's kind of close to her name.
Oh, okay. and it was very nice. Murdoch is showing how woke he was too, because he said he didn't mention the gender. He said they or them will be meeting you.
This is true.
At this point in this Buddhist shrine. So he's running late because it took him all 5 minutes to fucking get off that plane.
Right.
He's hustling his ass. Does a nice fucking Chance Bordeaux snake punch. Because he has to stop. The snake comes down.
I like that John Woo saw this moment in this movie and said, this is such an iconic scene. I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to make it slower. And it works.
And have some doves fly out.
Well, yeah, doves. Well, that's true, yeah.
So he Bordeaux's a fucking snake. He goes, my mama told me to take a chance on it. Finds these fucking Buddhist ruins. He senses someone skulking.
Right. I don't know how they did this effect, the Rambo senses, but it was great. It's kind of like Predator vision, but it's Rambo vision.
So he gets the drop on this person he thinks is an enemy, but it's not. It's his contact. And it's a woman.
Ooh.
Ko Bao, I think was her name.
Yeah. Just goes by Ko.
Talks
very easy for me to remember.
Yeah.
And keeps the notes short.
She talks like Captain Caveman.
Yes, she does.
And very beautiful woman, by the way. And he's just like, you're a woman. And she's just like, yeah. Like, we learned that her father apparently did her job, and she inherited the job. Like, well, your father's dead now, so you got to do the job now. She's a liaison with the American government, working in Vietnam.
Yeah. She gets the Coca-Cola. That's where it's all going to, is the Americans have to send her the Coca-Cola to keep working. She's like, I don't want none of that RC Cola bullshit. That's what commies drink. I want cola. Coke. A cola.
And she's like, follow me, Rambo. And she takes him to this boat they're going to use to go up the river.
But, of course, you got to go upriver. Boat's the best way. But, Murray, you can't just jump on a boat. You got to go through a pirate camp first.
Well, he's like, you using pirates? And she's like, these are the only people available that would do this fucking mission. So they go, they have a pirate village. We see they're just abusing. There's a woman washing cum off her face. It was pretty rough.
It was rough, yeah.
But hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know.
I suppose. I don't know what to say. I'm not judging.
So they get on the boat. They're going up that there river.
I mean, they have to pay off, of course, the pirate captain. And Rambo has time to read every single person's eyes in the camp. And they're all reaching into, like, holsters and, like, pulling out, like, fondling their guns and everything. So Rambo's like, this is a threat. This is a threat.
Well, yeah, his Rambo senses are tingling.
Oh, they're tingling hard.
And he's just like, but he no sells it.
Yeah, he perseveres.
And he goes, well, what about patrol boats? And then the guy's like, ah. And he opens up this fucking toy chest. And there's a fucking rocket launcher.
Hold on. Go ahead and do that laugh again if it were Seth Rogen acting.
And we see he's got a rocket launcher. But Rambo, his senses, his combi senses are all a tingle. He sees, it says Russia. And he's like...
And there's a Russian flag on it.
And he's like, yeah, hammer and... There's a literal hammer and sickle right in that little toy box with the fucking...
And a copy of a Dostoevsky book.
And Mein Kampf.
And
Mein Kampf. I don't know that. Excuse me, I meant what's the Karl Marx book?
Oh, Communist Manifesto?
Communist Manifesto. That's exactly what I was about to say. That. But he's just like whatever. He's fucking Serenity now. He's chilling.
He had to get some kind of therapy when he was doing his rock quarry, or maybe he just therapeutic to himself. That is definitely the word for it. Therapeutic to himself while he was working at the rock quarry, because his serenity powers at this moment, they're outstanding.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking that he is now the ultimate soldier because he's no longer restricted by his lust for violence.
Yes.
Okay.
So now,
thank you.
Rambo and Co. have absolutely zero chemistry in this movie. So we need a scene to create some chemistry.
As far as I'm concerned, Rambo's asexual, so...
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so of course there's not going to be chemistry.
His fucking love is death.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
There's a long boat ride. She's trying to break the ice. It's uncomfortable because, like you said, he doesn't talk. And she's like, why you in Nam again, Rambo? Well, I'm war. What mean war? She doesn't know anything. I mean, and he's like, how? She asks him, what's going on back home? Like, what have you been doing? What have you been up to these past 10 years?
Right, because he managed to get back home to America, and that's where he reveals, where he just wasn't welcome. They didn't love me like I love my country.
Well, they weren't welcome. They were treated like shit.
Yeah.
And so, by those fucking hippie scumbags. And he's like, yeah, well, there's a war against soldiers back home. You can't win that. And she's like, why you here, Rambo? Well, because I'm expendable. What that mean, Rambo?
I hate his metaphor for being expendable, because he starts to
It's a perfect metaphor. He goes, well, expendable, it's kind of like when you got this great idea for an action movie and you got all these like stars, you got like 12 stars, and it sounds great, like it's gonna be a great movie.
And then you tell Michael Dudikoff he's gonna be casted.
And then you do the movie, and it's not that great. It's kind of boring, isn't that good? And that became the Expendables. That fucking scene sparked his idea for the movie Expendables.
Oh God! And I saw one of the rewrites for it early on. It's like when you get invited to a party and you don't show up, but no one cares. What the fuck does that have to do with being expendable? I'm glad they worked it into this whole line about the movie he went on to make.
While he's doing that, he pulls out his Rambo knife and he's like poking at it. And then he's like, he notices her jade necklace. And she's like, hey, why are you wearing that? It's a good luck charm. Well, this is my good luck charm. He pulls out that Rambo knife.
Oh, she very cutely says, what's your good luck charm? And yeah, I suppose it's this. That's my Rambo. I suppose it's this. That's Griff's Rambo voice, by the way.
And then he drops the line, to survive war, you gotta become war.
He's one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, man.
Back at the HQ with good old Trouty and Murdoch. And it's almost time for the extraction because they already know that he doesn't have his camera. He lost it, so they just need to get him out of there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what? I guess Troutman doesn't even know about his advanced drawing skills and everything, so he's like, we're just going to go in there early, we're going to get him out, but I got to be there. And Murdoch at first like, no, you can't go. I don't give a shit. Just fucking get out of my hair. Get cola. Get me a cola.
So now they've reached the camp, Co and Rambo.
Yeah, Ramco.
And is that like Brangelina?
Yeah, that's their couple's name.
Couple's name.
Yeah.
Find the camp. They're on the perimeter. They're reconning it. What was up with how did this work? Because Rambo's got the knife. It's got like this. I don't know what is it? It's not. Is it serrated? What's the thing? The little
with the notches.
Yeah, notches.
Yeah, there's
how does
serration.
he cut a fucking barbed wire with a notch?
He must have really sharpened that shit the fuck up, but that makes no sense. No. Like that's just him using tension on tension. So
they're watching it. They're casing the place, and then everybody knows this is where she started her career in her home of Vietnam.
It's true.
Sue Manchu rolls up. This is her beginning of her career,
right?
So she'll play any place where there's a stage. She'll play.
That's
and
right.
she heard the old POW camp is looking for some entertainment.
That's right. It's unfortunate, but look, a lot of people have to start in bad places.
There's no Vietnam. Vietnam's Got Talent or whatever that fucking Vietnam Idol.
Yeah,
in '85. There is now.
Both of those were valid shows that are around still.
So she's got to do what girl's got to do what she got to do.
And
so maybe she's got to suck some dick too. But as long as she's got a stage.
Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes' Go Big show wasn't around either. So
then there'd be fire involved for some reason.
Barney. My God, the cat wants to be on this episode so bad. He's such a big Rambo fan.
So she's like, oh, that's Stu Manchu. She's really good. And then so we're setting up, for something later, which we'll get to. So Ram, he pulls out the fucking bone arrow because it's all he's got.
And of course, we got Cole there to play the idiot for the audience. What are you doing? They'll hear you. Don't you know physics? Bows and arrows are dead silent.
Right, we learned in this movie, we always said, and it's true, you stab somebody, they can't make a noise. If you shoot someone with an arrow, they can't make a noise either.
So, there was a thing, I saw this recently, I can't remember his fucking name, you're going to have to help me out with it. One of our favorite, he was in Werewolf 2, the guy with the sunglasses.
Red Brown?
No, with the sunglasses, the older dude. Who's got the great voice?
Oh, Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee, who is in Lord of the Rings. He was supposed to be stabbed in Lord of the Rings, and Peter Jackson was like, no, you need to shriek out like you got stabbed. And Christopher Lee, of course, was in this British CIA and shit and stabbed people, and he's like, I don't think you know what it's like when you get stabbed in the chest. You can't breathe. You can't shout. You go, ugh. So I think we're fighting against Christopher Lee.
I can argue against Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
All right, it's a fact. But now we know arrows do the same thing.
Arrows do the same thing.
So Rambo, he spots that there's some POWs, and it's horrible. They're in a fucking cell. There's the tarantulas, rats, David Patrick Kelly's, all this like vermin that's just crawling on them.
Oh God damn it, Paul, what's his name? He actually calls himself the Weasels in there.
Yeah, okay.
Oh God, I can't think of his name.
Paul Jones,
the '80s comedy guy.
'80s comedy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah, you're right. Pauly Shore was just laying on top of a guy, and he's like shivering with fever, and he can't do anything. So it's really a feeling for these guys.
Oh, Jesus.
And we get some fucking symbolism, where we have one of the guys up like crucified.
Yeah, of course.
And Rambo's like, I will not.
Wait, what's the symbolism? That other people don't believe in Jesus?
He's suffering for our sins. And these people are
okay.
godless because they're crucifying an American who's basically like Christ.
Okay.
And Rambo's like, not on my watch. I'm not letting Pauly Shore fucking touch any POWs. So he just starts fucking shooting arrows, killing motherfuckers, cuts down the Jesus fucking guy.
Right.
His name was Jesus.
And of course he's got, they got the spotlighter who's trying to like shine the light on him, so he shoots a fucking arrow through the light.
Well, his job really was to shine it on Stu Manchu, but
that's what he was trying to do. You can faintly, if you have a perfect 14.2 system like me and Murray, of course, having the Laserdisc fault, right. You could hear faintly from the rear back right speaker, girls just wanna have fun. or whatever the fucking song she sings.
No, her fucking theme song is "Do You Think I'm Sexy?"
That's right. Well, she was still working through her material. Fucked up her own bit.
Rambo, he's on a tight schedule. He knows the extraction point's coming, but he wants to bring back some proof. He doesn't have pictures, but he's got the real McCoy. He doesn't need pictures.
Yeah.
He's got a POW.
Yeah, he's got a fucking recent Jesus crucifixion guy. So he's
We
gonna
see
bring him.
Ko's about to get attacked, and then a fucking arrow goes right through the dude's head.
That was cool. I would have liked it a little better if they went for the Sonny Chiba Street Fighter effect where they showed us the X-ray of the arrow.
It would have been nice.
It would have been nice. But it's okay, because this is Stallone's style. He's like, let's not overcomplicate things, and I appreciate that.
So they're it's like fucking 5 a.m. now. The camp knows something's wrong. That guy's not on the cross anymore.
The guy's not on the cross. The spotlight, like Fu Manchu, they were like, we can't even see her. We're not appreciating the music. Let's sleep on this. And then they decide to, send people out.
Right. So they're sending him out. Rambo he's got the fucking POW over his shoulders. He's carrying him. They're going for that extraction point, and they take a break because the guy needs a rest.
Yeah, the guy needs to have a drink of water from Rambo carrying him so far.
Right. He's like, I'm thirsty. He's like piggyback riding Rambo.
You got any Bazooka Joe on you?
So, okay, this made some sense to me. Okay, so this is what we learned is that they've been keeping the POWs alive to like harvest crops, probably heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And what they've been doing is moving the guys from camp to camp. So sometimes the camps are empty, so nobody knows where these guys are at any given time.
Yeah.
So that makes a little sense. Instead of just they've been keeping people they forgot the war ended like 10 years ago, and they're still like running these camps.
One of the big points that comes up here too is that the POW asks Rambo, how long have I been? Or Rambo, I think, asked him, how long have you been captured? And the guy says 1 year. What year is it? And Rambo's like, it's 1985.
He's like, damn, time flies when you're not having fun too,
Yeah, apparently. Like, the guy didn't realize he aged 10 years. Well, I guess you do age terribly when you're forced into labor.
Yes. When you're a slave, you don't age well.
You don't age well.
When you have Pauly Shore like crawling all over you like Gollum.
Christ. Oh, hey, buddy.
The weasel. They make it fine back to the pirate ship, but you can't trust a pirate, Griff. They're pirates.
They're pirates.
So they immediately turn on our boy Rambo.
There's a great slap here. Do you think Sly Stallone said, I want you to really fucking slap me across the face? Or
Yes,
do you think
he's method.
I think so too. That looked like a good slap.
And Rambo, so they disarm Rambo. But they forgot about his belt knives. That we saw him because he geared up with them.
Right. They're two secret sly little knives that he keeps like holstered in a belt. So it's like you really have to dig in there to get him out.
Throws them, hits the guy. Guy makes no noise because he got hit with a knife.
That's right. Christopher Lee told us. So everybody, it's fact.
And then Rambo grabs like the shotgun from one of the guards, starts blowing everywhere. He single-handedly takes out every pirate on the ship.
In like a second, he gets the POW off the boat. He gets Ko off the boat. Ko gets a gun, takes it with her. They're swimming for shore. Rambo's finishing everything up when the gun, like the other boat starts firing.
A gunboat shows up.
Yeah.
Like an armored boat. But Rambo, he remembers that rocket launcher.
Well, no, he's got to lay low first. Yeah. And he you know.
Yeah, there's like tons of bullets going through the boat. Yeah.
And so they all miss him because, of course, he's got main character complex and it just bubbles around him. And then he's like, fight back. And so he goes into the cabinet. He throws the Communist Manifesto away.
Wipes his ass with it.
Oh, my God. Come on. And so he grabs the rocket launcher, and he's reading the instructions in perfect Russian, because, of course, he speaks that, too. And he flips the thing up. He stands in front of bullets hailing down on him. And this is just a Rambo move. You just let the bullets come at you. I think this is where the
bullets are scared. If you stand up to a bullet, they flinch.
I think this is where the Wachowskis got the idea for The Matrix, was just watching John Rambo have bullets fly around him. And so then he flips the one last like little sight up, fires the rocket, and blows the boat
up. And then we have the least tense situation. The boat was like...
I'm pretty sure it was pretty tense.
No, it was not at all.
It was tense.
The gunboat was like... going super slow. Rambo could literally just walk off the boat, but then...
He decides to run.
He runs into a choke line.
And we got to mention that Rambo unlike all the football players today who could run, the 4-cone in like 3 seconds, Rambo runs the 4-cone in 1 second. He goes from 0 to 60 in a second. He's faster than cars. So in the 2 feet he has of space here, he's up to 60 miles an hour when he gets that chokehold on him.
Right. There's a guy hiding above, and he starts strangling Rambo. So the tension, not there at all. No tension at all.
Well, the tension on the rope is taut.
There's tons of tension on the rope.
Yeah.
It's taut as fuck.
Yeah, it's taut.
I wish the scene was as taut as that tension, that choke wire.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about taut things in the scene, his biceps are taut right now.
Yeah.
His neck is taut.
And then Rambo realizes, fuck, I got my Rambo knife. So he pulls it out, stabs the guy, leisurely walks off, leaps, he goes, cannonball! And cannonballs off it, and then the boat just kind of bumps into the other boat, and then fucking explodes.
So Disney's going to purchase the Rambo franchise, and this scene's going to be reshot, so Obi-Wan Kenobi goes, Rambo, remember the knife. And then he's going to pull out the knife and do it.
I'm not going to see that.
I wanted to halt the podcast for that joke.
Yeah. Good job.
I'm proud of it.
Good job. And now they get away. They decide to split up. Rambo goes, he tells Ko, he's like, you've done enough. Just leave. Gives her his bow and arrow. He's like, I want you to remember me by. So he hands that to her. And then it's like, I'm going to take the POW the extraction point. Thank you for your service.
And he salutes him.
Yeah.
And he gives him a yellow ribbon.
And since we're in Vietnam, there's got to be a rice paddy, and there is. And that's where the extraction point's going to be. So Rambo's running through a rice paddy. The bad guys are murdering the fuck.
There's a moment here before Ko and him split up where she goes, Rambo, you are not expendable.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
It was beautiful. We need to remember that because Rambo was a man without emotion. And he's like, we read those eyes. That hit him. That put a little humanity back in that heart of his. Right. Sorry. Let's go to the rice paddy.
They're in the rice paddy. They're getting mortared the fuck out of each other. They get mortared.
Probably the weapon of choice when you have somebody run through a rice paddy.
This is another reason why I wish we had Jack here. Because how do you aim a fucking mortar? It's just like you just drop it and just fucking...
It's mathematics, man. Like, you have the little fucking slides and everything, but then it's like you need the person with the binoculars to be like... It's crazy.
I guess that's why they didn't hit Rambo, because they're just chucking it.
It's too fucking hard. I don't know why they're trying to do this.
They're airballing this shit.
This is for hitting tanks and shit.
So while that's going on, Troutman and the crew are like reaching. They got the chopper. They're reaching up to the evac point.
I love this because they cut over to the chopper and you just hear, meet me halfway across the sky. They're like 3 minutes out. We're going to meet them halfway at the extraction point. It's going to be great.
And then fucking Troutman goes, holy shit. I mean, I knew Rambo was going to do it, but he has a POW. And then Murdoch hears that. He's like, oh, fuck. I don't want anyone to know that I didn't know what I was doing and there really were POWs. I got to cover this shit up. Pull him out. He goes to fucking John Steele. He's like, pull that motherfucker out. Leave Rambo.
Yeah, Troutman's he's like hearing this. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's got the POW. This is what you're here for. Are you trying to pull rank with me right now? Get the fuck out of here. Pull the fuck out. Leave them. Leave them.
Well, yeah, Troutman does pull rank. And Murdoch's goons pull guns. And they're like, no, we're not picking up anybody. And to add insult to injury, fucking Martin Cove, like, fucking cock teases fucking Rambo by getting within, like, 5 feet of Rambo, if he could jump 1 extra feet, he could have grabbed the rail and pulled himself up.
1 extra foot.
And he's just, like, fucking takes off. And then Rambo gets captured by the commies.
And we're going back to the headquarters. And this is after Troutman has arrived back there. He's sizing up Murdoch. He's sizing up this mission. He's calling him out. He's like, this wasn't a mission to save POWs at all, was it? This was just you trying to fucking, make the people, the fat cats back at home happy.
Right. And then Murdoch, he goes, yeah, you're right. And he's like, what are we supposed to do? Pay ransoms for these people? That's a lot of money. That's taxpayer money.
That's taxpayer money.
We're not going to do that. And make these fuckers think they can just do whatever they want and we'll pay them off. Fuck that. We got a fucking budget here. This is when they start caring about, the deficit, man.
The deficit! All right?
Troutman, like, those are fucking people! And he's like, I couldn't believe you can actually do this when you're a bureaucrat too. He fucking crosses his hands. It's his hands tied. And he pulled out red tape and wrapped him around his hands.
Holy shit.
To really hammer home that metaphor.
Who's that? Troutman did that?
No, Murdoch
did it? Of course he did. So this is great because Troutman gets the last line because, of course, Murdoch being a bitch, he's doing the hands tied. So Troutman hits him with this beautiful line. You've made the biggest mistake of all.
Is he doing that Italian guy thing with his hand? I
Sorry.
don't remember that.
No, he didn't do that. I'm doing that because this is how I accentuate points now. This is how I do it. You made the biggest mistake.
Now he's doing both hands.
You made the biggest mistake of all time. Rambo.
Right. Because
everyone wanted to hear that 4 times.
Yeah, because Troutman knows Rambo. Because Murdoch's like, oh, he's dead. I don't give a shit. Mission covered up. And Troutman's like, we're talking about Rambo here.
I'm worried about Troutman, though. He knows Rambo a little too well. It seemed like he was trying to do right by him, but at the same time, I could believe that Troutman was trying to use Rambo to kill Murdoch. I could see, because Troutman figured out that Rambo's pretty easy to pull his strings.
No, there's nothing but respect between Troutman and Rambo.
Okay. That's my own fan theory.
Yeah. So we're back at the old POW camp, and it's not looking so good for Rambo.
Yeah, he's in a pure natural defecation pit.
Yeah, it's. I think I saw Master Blaster lurking around because it's pig shit.
Oh yeah, this reminded me of. I was reminded of this last night when I saw Eraserhead. Lynch loves the overhead shot of a weird mass of water, and so that's what we have here.
You get nothing weirder than a big pit of pig shit.
Yeah,
it's a literal cesspool.
It is.
And they got Rambo up to his neck. He stripped him down to a fucking cocksmock.
Yeah, he made sure that it was going up his ass because Rambo, Sly Stallone, he's like, I hear this Van Damme kid's coming around and he's got some cheeks for days, so I gotta show him.
The story I heard was Van Damme's ass. Like he was an ass double.
There was an ass double for that scene. That's why he was doing the splits.
Yeah, he came out of the shit doing the splits,
and his legs were longer for some reason. That was weird. Okay, this makes sense now.
And so they go, uh-oh, here are the real enemies, because this is the 80s. It's the Russians.
Of course.
Russians show up in their fucking souped-up chopper. We get the fucking...
Souped-up chopper?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was like a kid putting together a Lego version of a fucking chopper. It was like wings on a chopper with missiles on every fucking.
Oh, it was like a super Apache copter.
Yeah.
The Apaches, I'm pretty sure, are the fucking crazy ones with all the guns.
That I think we never used in a war ever. We just paid like $5 million.
Look, we gotta be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah. Well, we'll learn about that next week with Red Dawn. But yeah, so
whoa, spoiler alert.
We see our villain, Colonel Soda Popopsky.
That was my favorite from Punch Out.
Yeah, and he comes down with So Colonel Popinski shows up.
See, this is what we were talking about this on Mike, right? That Dolph was supposed to be in this.
Yeah,
because Dolph was supposed to play Soda Popinski.
No, I don't think so. I think he was supposed to play the Goon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Goon as Soda Popinski because the Goon had Soda Popinski's body.
I'm just using the fucking name.
I know you are.
Because it's a joke, Griff.
I know you are.
It's a joke.
But that might brain went another way.
Because the character's name is Podofsky, so it's the Soda Popinski.
It's a play on words. Yeah. Names. Excuse me.
So he comes out. He's twirling. He didn't have a mustache, but he's twirling the air around a mustache. And they pull up Rambo, and he's just shit just dripping off. And he's covered in leeches on top. I guess leeches love shit.
Did Billy Drago invent the twirling the air around where you
twirling the air?
Twirling the air?
Twirling, yeah,
is it toiling?
No, there's no such thing as toiling.
There is now. No. But yeah, he sees that these fucking Vietnamese commies, they put him in this defecation pit. They're like, there's leeches all over him. He's like, these savages over here. I like how commies talk to other commies because they're like, we know we're shit. Right. Let's just fuck each other. There's
a hierarchy with commies.
Yeah,
whites are always on the top.
Whites are always on the top. So he sees all those fucking leeches on him, and
did you notice?
Did I notice?
he does the move, the most disrespectful move at all.
Excuse me?
He goes, give me that knife there. You mean this Rambo knife, sir? And Rambo, you've been reading his eyes. It says murder.
Well, that and Frank Stallone did like a dun 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 cut.
He's pulling a straight Griff on this weapon. He's like, I want to play with that weapon there. It doesn't belong to me.
Yeah.
They hand it to him.
Well, what is nature but the world's living room?
And he starts picking those leeches off of Rambo's body with the Rambo knife.
These savages let leeches all over this beautiful body. Is that peck jelly? Can you get me? Do you have a guy? Can you?
No, that's what he says. He's like, clean him up and peck jelly him up. Now!
Well, they wanted to extract the peck jelly off him because they have an off-brand. You know, the Gint.
The comedy version?
The Gint Gloss.
Gint Gloss?
Yeah, the off-brand of peck jelly. Gint Gloss.
You can tell we didn't prepare that joke at all.
Oh, come on. That was good. Fuck you.
So, yeah, okay, they're going to gloss him up. Because he loves a nice shiny chest. Don't we all?
We all do.
So they take him to the torture chamber / a radio room.
They do. Well, okay, look. When you're in the jungle, you don't have a lot of rooms with electricity. So this is the one room with electricity. It's like that Black Oak, Arkansas song when electricity came to Alabama.
But what is Vietnam?
Yeah, but it's Vietnam. And it happened in the same year, 1979.
So they pull out a mattress. So it's just the springs, and they strap Rambo to the mattress. Mm-hmm. They're MacGyvering this torture device.
I loved it. MacGyver must have dropped in here.
Colonel Popinski, he's toying with that Rambo knife. He's got. You're right. It's like this is a multiple. You can do everything in this room. He's got hibachi like right on the desk.
Yeah. Hello,
and he puts the knife into the hibachi to heat it up.
They had a little black and white TV. They were watching MASH on.
And he's like, I want you to tell me everything. Why are you here? And Rambo, total stone face, not giving up. His eyes aren't even telling anything.
Right.
I want you to submit, American.
Right.
He's just like nothing. He's getting nothing from Rambo.
They even had Baron von Raschke there preparing the claw, and they were just like, we're going to put it on you, man. He didn't care.
And he's like, I'm going to make you fucking admit to all the world that you shouldn't be here and you failed at your mission. Rambo not selling it.
As we're watching all this, we go out to the gates, the guard gates, and we've already seen how this little village operates.
They love fucking women singers.
They love that tush. They love the voice and they love the tush. So it's Ko. She's coming in. She's all dolled up. She's ready to sing. Right. She's like, Su Manchu, how about Sue Dion?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And so, yeah, she sneaks her way in. She does a little run. Whoa! And he's like, oh, that's really impressive.
She sings My Heart Will Go On.
And so, yeah, she's in. So we're like, thank God. So she's creeping her way through. I think she probably stabbed somebody and they didn't make a noise.
Right, of course. Well, Chas, Christopher Lee, I'm sorry.
So she makes her way underneath because all these buildings are on stilts.
Yeah, because it rains a lot.
Right, it rains a lot.
Yeah, we've seen Apocalypse Now. We've seen all the Vietnam
Ruined
movies.
The foundation.
Exactly. So you got to be on stilts.
So she's underneath the torture chamber because she hears a little. Because I mean, Rambo's no selling the best he can, but sometimes he lets out like. Burr! And she's like, that sounds like Rambo's moan. So we see that they're like he's lathered in peck jelly, and we know peck jelly is the greatest conductor of electricity known to man.
That's right. It sucks that that was one of the things that was in his tool belt that he had there because they were able to apply a thick layer of it too.
Well, he made sure to have that on his person because he didn't want to lose it like he lost all his other.
Well,
gear.
the other thing that's great about it is if you have any venomous creatures bite on you, the venom can't penetrate your or your peck jelly shield. It's just beautiful like that.
So Popinski's like, I'm getting nowhere with this shit. I got an idea. I'll hit him with a little bit of the truth.
Right. So it just so happened that WikiLeaks happened to come out that day, and he's like, I got all the recent WikiLeaks. You remember when that extraction team was coming for you? Well, I've got the transcript when they were radioing back to headquarters.
And he just reveals that Murdoch told him to bail and shit. And you see a little hint of a tear welling up on Rambo's eye. But it goes right back in.
Oh, yeah. They bailed on you, Mr. Rambo.
Comrade Rambo.
You protect that country, and they spit in your face.
And Rambo he stays true to the mission. He doesn't sell.
Right.
So he's like, hand me that knife, hand me that Rambo knife. It's fucking white hot now.
Oh, yeah. Well, they put it in the hibachi.
Right.
They were flipping fried rice with it.
Right. They perfectly grilled hot dogs, too.
That's right.
They know how to do it in Vietnam. Griff doesn't know how to grill a hot dog. But
I went to Vietnam to learn how to do it.
So he hands the knife to poor man's Drago, and he like goes, just burns a line down Rambo's face. Rambo no sells it at all. He does, and then Popinski's getting frustrated. He's like, "Get me one of those fucking POWs. This man's unbreakable."
He's unbreakable.
And they bring in the fucking POWs. Like, all right, shove that knife up his ass. And then Rambo goes, "Wait, I don't want you to do it. I'll do what you want me to do." Great. So they take Rambo off the fucking mattress, put him in a chair in front of that radio, and they're like, "You're going to tell the whole world that you failed, that you're breaking laws, international fucking laws, Geneva Convention, shit, you shouldn't be here."
Yep.
And so they call in. Murdoch picks up, the signal. And they're like, "Tell them American what you did."
I love Stallone does his best Lynch impression here because he grips that mic stand so fucking hard as because he's just brimming with rage because he knows that WikiLeaks. He believes in WikiLeaks, so he's like, "I know this
because
is
it is true."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Murdoch goes. He says, "He's like, hey, Rambo, is that you?" Murdoch. "I'm coming to get you." Oh, and then he just grabs that fucking mic, smashes Drago Light in the face.
Those bases are heavy. That's why we no longer have bases, because Murray looks at me sometimes with that murderous look in his eye. So I had to take the bases away.
Yeah.
His mic is chained down now.
Right.
Like a pen at the bank.
Slams poor man Drago into the mattress, turns the fucking knob. He's getting shocked.
He got shocked the fuck up.
Didn't die, though, but he got shocked.
I love that song, "Shock My Bitch Up." Yeah, another perfect joke.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say "Shock the Commie" or something like that. Like the Peter Gabriel song, "Shock the Monkey."
Oh, yeah, that would have been good, too.
Yeah.
Now we got into Peter Gabriel, though.
So Rambo is just kicking ass, taking names, and he makes his escape. Ko like shoots up through the ground, shoots the rest of the Russians.
She's adding to the anarchy that's happening here, so it helps out.
So they start running. Fucking Popinski's like, "Get the fucking Apache started." So they're like randomly just shooting out in the jungle, hoping they'll hit Ramco, but they don't.
So some time eclipses here.
It's morning now.
It's morning now. Ramco have made it to a nice. There's a waterfall in the background. It's serene.
It's fucking
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? That beautiful Walker, Texas Ranger episode we did a couple weeks back that everyone needs to go back and listen to, where they went to Denver to find that guy who died. Forgive me, I forget what it was called. So it's looking so serene like that. I was like, that scene didn't end well. A bear's about to attack him because you got Ko just being like, "Rambo, you're not expendable. I want to go to America with you.
Will you take me with you?"
And Rambo, for the first time, he's like, "I'm ready to go back to America with you."
Yes. As soon as they say that, she gets up, immediately fucking million bullets through her body.
She reaches down, she grabs her herbal essences, she's going to go wash her hair in the waterfall. Her essential oils, all that shit. She's going to go wash under the waterfall. She gets shot up 1,000 times. Yeah. Like from every angle.
And then Rambo, no. That's how his heart-wrenching
Excuse me?
it was.
Oh?
No, he said no.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh.
And he I think he kills the guys that shot her, and she's just laying in a puddle of blood. He grabs her. Rambo, expendable, and then she dies in his arms.
He takes that beautiful jade necklace and he makes sure it's choking fuck out of him.
We get a double gear up scene. This is a nature gear up scene. We get the get the nice back. Fucking Joe Coleman would have loved this scene. We get the fucking lats, the fucking traps, that back shot, just so he can tie his fucking headband.
Yeah, I wonder if Joe knows how to flex every muscle in his back just to tie a headband. I'm gonna ask him next time I talk to him.
He better add that to his repertoire. It's like, before he starts wrestling, he should do that move.
He posted a very fucking exposing video or photo of himself on Instagram the other day.
Wow.
Joe, you need to cool it down. They're going to take you off that website.
Whoa.
A little too much skin showing there.
Was it tanned?
It was tanned.
Okay. So, he's like you said, he puts on that jade choker, and he's ready to just choke the fuck out of some commies. But before he does that, we cut back to Murdoch and Troutman. Troutman is furious. He just heard all that shit between Rambo and...
Right.
So, I didn't think... Murdoch is going to arrest Troutman?
Well, yeah, of course he is, because it's like, as soon as Troutman hears that Rambo has it out for Murdoch, he's like, my guy's word is gospel. If he's against you, I'm against you. Murdoch's figured this situation out. He knows how to do algebra. He's like...
We learned he's a fucking weasel.
Well, yeah, he's of course.
So, anything to survive.
So he's like, hey, buddy, bondage time.
So, and then the problem is, he never had a chance, did he? He's just furious because he's like, you just set this guy up. Because it's a two birds with one stone thing. You have this dangerous fucking guy. You want to get rid of him, and you also want to do this, like, public relations type thing with the POWs.
Right. They need to report back to America that everything is cool here. We can extract, just spend more money on Apache helicopters. Murray, what gang would... Murdoch be in?
The Rogues, obviously. That's the Weasel Gang.
The Weasel Gang, of course.
And to show what a weasel he is, he's like you said, Troutman, he went home. Like, he was meant to die in fucking...
I kind of like that. Yeah, it puts it all together.
So Rambo now, he's full-on Shokazuki ninja. There's actually a scene where he does the 9 powers of the ninja with his hands.
Yes, of course.
And then he's just stealthily, silently killing commies.
Only thing I missed out of this... And this is the difference between him and Schwarzenegger. Camouflage. He's like Griff. He's like, I will not put any makeup on my face. I will not do it.
He covers himself with mud in one scene.
You're right. It was just Schwarzenegger. He predatored.
Before
Predator.
Schwarzenegger. Well, because he was probably worried. Because we know that Russians have infrared vision. That's why they were called the Red Army. So it makes perfect sense. So he's ninjaing the fuck out of here. He's like he's stabbing people with arrows. He's not even shooting. He's just like doing all the Shokazuki shit. He's got all the Shokazuki weaponry. There's a scene. What was that scene where the guy, he fell down a hill with some vines and he couldn't make a noise. He's like and then Rambo, like, he's struggling for like 10 seconds.
It was really bad. They're trying to do like this trapdoor spider effect where this guy just starts falling down, and I was like, oh god, that looks awful. Like, it hit me hard. I was like, oh, that's scary as shit, because we know all about sinkholes here in America. We're just popping full of sinkholes.
All that fracking.
Didn't you just hear about it? Detroit St. Andrews Hall.
No, I didn't hear
They got hit by a sinkhole.
No, I didn't hear
It
that.
didn't really. But the floor caved in, so they had to close it down.
What are they getting? Is Eminem going to pay to fix it?
Does Eminem love that place?
Yeah, that was the shelter. Did you see 8 Mile? We all knew that St. Andrews Hall, a.k.a. the basement, the shelter, was the birthplace, the mecca of Detroit rap. I always thought St. Andrews was the punk rock club, but no, it's really the rap club of Detroit.
No shit.
According to 8 Mile, I never knew any of that shit.
I didn't realize they were rapping down there.
Yeah, that's where you got to start, doing those freestyle raps.
Okay. But yeah, there's a guy falls into that pit, and it's a slow...
Not even a pit, it's just a hill he's falling down.
Yeah, it was a deep pit, but it was a slow, silent death. He's just going, oh, I don't know. Wow, my surroundings have gotten very different. It was Owen Wilson. And, this is not good anymore. And then fucking Rambo pops out.
Are we going to have to do an Owen Wilson movie now just because you've added a impression to your repertoire?
Wait, was it good?
No, it wasn't. But...
Yeah, so no, of course not, because then I keep going into an Owen Wilson. My Sly Stallone has been an old man. We probably should never do a Sly movie again.
We probably won't after the results from this movie, this episode. So yeah, but he breaks the dude's neck, he stabs him. He kills the motherfucker. And then he does the fucking Predator move where he just cakes himself in mud and just leans against like a cliff face or
But
something.
this is good. They're just doing like a montage of kills, and it's good. So like all these kills we've talked about have happened over a 2-minute movie time span, and it's great. So you get the mud kill, the fucking spider trap kill, the random like arrow stabbing through the ear kill,
leaps out of the water with a bow and arrow and shoots the guy. Kill.
He's got like a little lily pad with a big flower on in his head when he pops out. It's beautiful, like the symbolism.
Yeah, the bamboo like reed in his
Yep,
mouth.
of course. And he fashioned a poison dart out of the nature around him. Just
you see that scene where he rubbed it on a frog? He had like a needle, a sewing needle.
Yeah,
that was great.
Where did he get the needle?
That was part of his. You keep the sewing kit on you, dude. You don't put that with
Absolutely.
the other weapons.
You can't go in there with tattered clothes.
Right.
You got to be able to sew it up. That
so
makes sense.
he's just silently. He's silent death. He's just taking out all
a
the
silent
time.
scream, if you will.
Yeah.
A song we talked about earlier.
He's fucking them insane.
He is fucking them insane.
And then he stumbles upon a village.
Yeah, like he starts in full sprint. I think it was after the water kill. He's in full sprint mode.
I got questions about. Okay,
there's a lot of questions to be asked.
This
here.
village, we see there's Buddhist monks at this village.
Yes.
So we're believing this is a peaceful village. Mm-hmm. That probably would have helped Rambo.
Yes, these people all look like the people who helped Jean-Claude Van Damme will save in like a kickboxing movie in the future.
Right. So just remember that because it gets weird later on.
It really does.
Because Rambo, he's like MacGyver. He's like looking around and he spots a chicken.
And
then we're like, what's he going to do with that chicken? This is kind of bizarre that he would want some chicken now. But this is his plan. He runs through the village, runs down because it's like on a hill. And he runs down, and there's like, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
There's what is it, like
That's
high
the
grass?
MacGyver theme.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, okay. My laptop's freaking out, too.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working fine.
Okay. You better go check that one. I don't want to, like, silence.
Oh, no, it's
5
fine.
minutes.
It's recorded. We're
All right.
watching it right now.
So, true professionals, guys. Most podcasts would cut this shit out.
No.
Not us.
It's in there.
So it's like high grass or something. He runs through that.
Yeah.
And then the guys are following him, and they notice they see a blood trail. And they're like, we got this fucker. We just got to follow the red brick road.
Oh, this is the chicken thing.
Right.
I didn't notice that's what happened here.
Yes, that's why he got the chicken.
I was
Because the
busy
guy
writing
stumbles,
notes.
he looks down, and he sees a dead chicken. There's no Rambo blood at all. It's chicken blood.
Oh, no.
And then Rambo just starts
That's bad voodoo.
He starts setting fire to this dry grass.
Yeah.
And so it took me back to fucking turkey shoots. They did the same thing.
They did.
And the guys just start getting burned up, and then he starts whipping out the fucking exploding arrows.
This is where we see that he didn't just pack 4 of them; he packed 4,000 of them.
Right,
because he's got a bridge on site. He's got like a lookout tower. He's got everything in sight.
He's got the fucking village in sight that I thought these people were innocent. He blows up this village of innocent people.
Is
What
this
was up with
supposed to be
that?
something we were having a conversation about? Like, because, I mean, this is a good commentary about our drone wars and everything. We end up killing so many innocent civilians. Is this what we're trying to do?
It's just collateral damage.
It's
to
just
Rambo?
collateral damage, yeah.
I guess he assumes, well, there are communist guys with guns in the village, so if I blow the entire village up,
Right.
who cares?
They had
Collateral
infidels
damage.
in there, so it's okay. It doesn't matter.
So Rambo, he blows up the village. He blows up a bridge with some like jeeps and shit on it.
Yeah, they won't be able to go to the neighboring village to trade or anything
Yeah,
now.
no,
No
they
big
still
deal.
starve to death, yeah.
It's okay.
That's
They just need a trucker convoy
Hey!
to park on that bridge.
don't live in a communist country. That's basically what Rambo's telling
Right,
you.
because it gives you full reign to fuck with every human being who lives under it.
Right. So yeah, he blows this village up, kills a bunch of motherfuckers. So now he's back in the woods.
Yup, and I love this scene because he's just running through, and then he suddenly gets a shot at. And he takes a moment because the guy missed, and he just stares down that fucking hatted Vietnam commie bitch.
They're about like 100 yards apart. Is this the same waterfall that Cole got killed at?
I thought so.
Is it not? I don't know. Maybe that's why the scene of the crime.
Maybe.
So yeah, then Rambo's calmly just putting that arrow together, putting the explosive tip on. The guy's freaking out. He's just shooting everywhere. He's like
Oh my
Don
God.
Knotts.
Well, you got that rock star hair staring you down.
And then Rambo just slowly pulls back that fucking bowstring. Wastes the fucking explosive arrow on one guy. But it was a cool kill.
It
Blows a guy up.
It would have been nice if he kept the explosive arrow, because now he's apparently out.
He's got a Dungeons and Dragons arrow thing. It's like it's a bag you can just pull
a magic
out,
bag, yeah,
nonstop fucking explosive arrowheads.
But as soon as he does that, it alerts a helicopter that was swarming overhead.
Right,
swirling overhead, and so now fucking Rambo's got to outrun a goddamn hydrogen bomb that's dropping on him. This bomb
it
huge.
was the neutron bomb that Wings Hauser had to get from Beastmaster 2.
They got him over there in Vietnam, huh?
It was such a great. I loved it because it landed multiple places. There was like explosions everywhere. It was a beautiful shot.
But Rambo knows how to jump,
right?
And he jumped at just the right time,
right? And he hit the water running. And yeah, if you go underwater, you're not going to get hit by any of that shit.
So the chopper, after the explosion goes off, they've got a gunner in there, so he's shooting all over the place. But then they need to go confirm the kill, so they get real low to the ground there, and that's where Rambo he left like his headband floating in the water, and they're like, he's clearly dead. I see a headband. Right. So then, out of nothing, like an alligator lurking in the murky water, he jumps the fuck out, strangles the guy, throws him over, and they're like, oh, well, what else do we do but pull up and go into the air again? So now, Rambo's got a chance to commandeer this helicopter.
Well, he does, but Dolph Light is in the helicopter.
Dolph Lundgren.
They start struggling. Dolph's got him like his head hanging out the side of the helicopter. He's strangling him, and then Rambo just does a monkey flip, throws him off over his shoulder. Guy dies. The fucking pilot just jumps out. He's like, fuck it. I don't know what to do.
Well, yeah. Rambo just kind of like held up his knife, and the pilot was like, yeah, see you later. Enjoy it. This is your plane now. So Rambo, of course, has to return to, I'm guessing he goes back to like the original village he did reconnaissance on.
Yeah, the POW camp.
The POW camp.
Because he's got to rescue the boys. He's like, this is his mission. So he goes back to the POW camp, lands the fucking helicopter, grabs a fucking machine gun, wraps the fucking like belt around his arm, looking badass. He's just shooting fuckers, chest glistening, looking great, perfect tan. Grabs all the POWs, throws them on the fucking chopper. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Everything is going exactly to Rambo's brand new plan. But then you just see it pop out of the tree line there.
Like a Megazord fucking helicopter.
The Haley, pardon. It's a goddamn.
It might as well have turned into a fucking Megazord because it's the most fucking gaudy ass fucking bull. It's head on a hat, missile on a missile,
missile on a missile. Yeah.
And Rambo's fucking flying a 1970s fucking helicopter, left over from Vietnam.
It's like watching the people who can work the fucking 25-cent crane games and pick up all the animals. He is just like, womp, womp, womp. There's dead people in the back who don't even have to hold on. He's keeping it so stable. It was amazing. Right. His piloting skills, better than Wings Hauser, who we know is the greatest pilot of all time.
Okay, that's why he's called Wings.
That's called Wings.
So they're following Rambo. He's evading. They're shooting at him. And then fucking one of the POWs, like, he grabs the machine gun, starts firing back. And then I guess Rambo's helicopter gets hit, so it starts smoking.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like, shit, we're going down. So he, like, takes off, and he goes, like, down this, like, hillside.
He gets himself enough space, some coverage, so he can land the helicopter and play dead.
Right. Because the Russians, they go over the hillside and they see the helicopters on the ground, and even though the guy's probably like half a mile away, he sees Rambo through the windshield. Rambo's doing a great job playing dead.
And you don't get to kill many Americans when you're in Vietnam, so he's like, I gotta savor this kill.
Right,
I gotta land. I gotta take my time. I gotta rub one out real quick.
Come on Rambo's face and then fucking, blow the thing up. But that's too much shit to do. And so while he's thinking, because he's going through his mind this whole convoluted plan, that's enough time for Rambo to just pop up with that rocket launcher and fire it. By the way, everybody behind Rambo would be dead.
Yeah.
Because it's like literally, you didn't even see the fucking shit fly out the back of the bazooka.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
And he fires it through the tiniest crack in the windshield of the helicopter. This is some
And
incredible.
I thought it made the hole. That was actually already there.
It was already there.
Oh, okay.
From when he got shot at.
Wow, that's like a video game type shot.
It is a video game shot. So, okay, to bring it back to Star Wars, my great joke earlier, this is, when Luke takes down the Death Stalker.
Death Star, he hits a Womp Rat from 20 yards.
That's right. That's the accuracy that was required here. All right.
Maybe he used the Force. I don't know. Maybe Rambo's. How many midi-chlorians are in Rambo's blood?
Like I said, they're owned by Disney now, so probably a lot.
So everybody in back is incinerated, but he's still got their bodies, so he's got proof that they were POWs. So he's like, we're going home. So they fly back to Thailand where Murdoch's waiting.
He even calls ahead, hey, Murdoch, I'm coming home. I'm bringing home the turkey. You better bring home the bacon. We're left to interpret what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
What does it mean? I don't know.
A lot of meat metaphors.
A lot of meat.
On.
I mean, he is in Spartan Squad, so.
Lands down there. Erickson's like, Rambo, buddy! Well, how are you? Great job! Rambo kicks him in the dick.
He gets that frown just like on his badge. His little button there. I like that. That was a good touch.
Rambo's got the fucking machine gun with the belt wrapped around his arms.
Yep.
And he walks in. He's like, he sees all that disgusting technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Unloads on it. Empties his gun on it.
One of them said Twitter on it. One of them said fucking Instagram on it. So he's blowing up modern social media. They knew.
Goes back. There's a little fucking room where Murdoch, he's dressed as a woman. He's hiding. Rambo grabs him, pulls out that Rambo knife, pins him against the table. You're like, all right, finally, this guy's going to get his just desserts. Rambo pulls the arm back, stabs down, stabs into the desk right next to Murdoch's head, and goes, you know there are more men out there. Find them, or I'll find you. And we're like, and then he lets the fucking guy go, man.
Wow.
Walks out, Troutman's like, Rambo, you did it. And he's like, we can get you medals, we can get you a ticker tape parade. I just want. He's like, my country love me as much as I love it. And he's like, I can't help you with that, Rambo. I don't know what the fuck, yeah.
Can I just throw this out here? Rambo is an American incel. America is cucking Rambo, and he's an incel for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's why he just does the slow, incredible Hulk walk-off into the credits.
The Frank Stallone track kicks up that you heard at the beginning.
So there you go. It's Rambo.
Murray, we just did it again. What are we doing? We're spitting gold here. We're killing these 90-minute movies. We're doing it in under 90 minutes.
Wow. No excuse not to listen. Well, let me do a really long outro to fuck that up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. So, March for Madness is it's going strong. It doesn't stop with our birthday. It goes all month long.
Right. All the excitement of the March for Madness, it just keeps going.
But also, in case you haven't been watching the news, there's a war going on right now in the Ukraine. And this might lead to World War III. Because remember, World War I started because Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated.
Yeah.
So it could happen.
After a failed attempt. Okay, hello, door. The door just opened.
So you might think, oh, nothing's going to happen. It's just Ukraine. We don't know about that.
We don't.
And we care about our listeners, and we want to prepare you. So originally it was going to be Con Air because you guys, Griff, I get a fucking DM at least every day. Can you just eat a peach into a mic, Tim?
I know. The amount of peaches that are sent to my house with fucking stamp. I didn't know you could do produce with stamps on it. You can.
Yes, you just put a stamp on it, and they'll you don't even have to put an address on it. They go, this is for Tim.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. And so we were going to do Con Air, and then we're like, no, there's something more important going on. We're going to run the risk of ruining fucking March for Madness.
This is true.
But we have to prep people, and there's no better movie to prep people for the end of the world.
I mean, there's people who sympathize with Nazis these days. It's like, who's going to sympathize with our enemy in this movie?
I hope
none of our listeners sympathize with Nazis.
Well, these aren't Nazis. These are commies.
Yeah.
We're going back to the 80s when, like I said last week, we all hated Russians, and we all should still hate them, considering what's going on right now. And we're not doing it alone, Griff, because we got a guy. He's our survivalist expert. And he talked to us when we first had him on. We were like, "Hey, what are some movies that you like?" And he's like, "This movie, I have to do because it speaks to me." So we invited him. I put out and to be fair, because I know we got a lot of Peach lovers out there. I put a fucking poll up on our Twitter at G&G Theater. What do you want? Do you want Con Air or do you want this movie? And resoundingly, 85% wanted this movie. This movie is called Red Dawn. And we're going to learn that all it takes is about 8 teenagers with some guns to stop the entire Russian army.
Or one Rambo.
So we're going to be... And I didn't even mention it. This survivalist expert is our old buddy Jack Baudelaire.
Of course it is.
So you're going to get a fucking Jack Baudelaire episode and Red Dawn. You're going to learn, you're going to laugh, you're going to love.
Oh.
So we'll see you next week for Red Dawn, and keep it warm.